This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast, Tuesday, April the 12th today. Hey, hit up inquity.ca and check out that Bay of Quinte bucket list that we talked about this morning. I haven't had a chance to go through that. What a great idea.
Just gives you some ideas to get out and enjoy. And as I said this morning, with the nicer weather now, spring is here. You look outdoors and it is actually quite nice this morning.
Yeah.
Especially gardening season's right around the corner. Mother's Day, folks. Come on. We made a point of that too. But conservation areas, parks, bike trails, just different ways to get back out and explore the area. And I mentioned as well, just yesterday, I noticed how full our calendar is getting again.
Very quickly.
And it's great. It is great. We are going to be so busy this summer. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. And it's not a matter of us really going anywhere. It's just getting out and doing things again.
2020, we were locked in. 2021, we were a little bit apprehensive about making plans. And
We'd
then
stick our
making
toe outside and then come back in.
Then get them canceled.
Yeah.
But it sure seems like it's get out and get going. So it's a great list. And then to your point, I don't want the 10th of June to roll around and go, why didn't I do more stuff? That list is up there right now.
Exactly. Get you out now to enjoy it. And just to give you an idea, in the next month, we have ball, hockey, soccer, and baseball all starting.
Yeah. And that's just the kids.
Exactly.
Kids alike.
That's the kids.
That'll eat up all your time.
Wade and I are just running behind them.
Yeah.
We're just the drivers for the next little while. And I love it. And I cannot wait. I will have to watch myself behind the wheel because that kind of goes into what else we were talking about today.
This was the big thing. We got a lot of response on this, and it's the touchstone question. Who are the better drivers, men or women? And then off we go. And you can argue about it all the time.
But the nice thing about this is it doesn't break it down between men and women.
No.
It's just a general, drivers in general, this is how you behave.
It's almost as if the question is, are we better drivers now than we were before? Because the question seems to be, we're getting more aggressive. And I think it has to do with technology, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, imagine that. So the first questions this morning, though, were really interesting.
The first question, and again, I don't think people were 100% honest in this survey.
Never are.
Because
Never
I'm
are.
reading this going, I don't know. So the first question is about aggressive driving. 40% of drivers admit to driving aggressively. 40%.
Right. Yeah.
Which you could say sounds high, but I don't think it's high enough, especially when you look at the opposite side that says 80% of drivers say other drivers are more aggressive than they are.
Not me.
They're the aggressive ones.
Now, if somebody asked you if you were an aggressive driver, my question back to them is define aggressive driving. True. What I would consider aggressive versus the same factors that somebody else may say, no, that's just normal driving in Toronto. I wouldn't consider that like massive two-lane changing at 140.
But driving in Toronto is significantly different than driving in Belleville.
Yeah, what would you consider aggressive? Because I don't consider myself an aggressive driver, but occasionally do I do 61 kilometers up Dundas? Yes. But I don't consider myself aggressive.
I'm an aggressive driver.
You're an aggressive. What do you think? What makes you think you're an aggressive driver?
My saying is
Speed?
Yes, but you make a decision and you commit to it. And that to me is an aggressive driver. So if I need to get somewhere.
No, I don't consider that.
And I need to get over in the other lane, I get over in the other lane.
Okay.
I don't drive down first, but I get over.
You're decisive.
I am decisive. I think that, and maybe that's more the point. I am a decisive driver, making me more aggressive. So I know where I need to go. I know what I need to do. How can I get there in the quickest way?
Okay.
So efficient, in the most efficient way. If there's traffic, it drives me crazy. So I'm weaving in and out in a very safe manner.
That
in
part
a safe
might be
manner.
aggressive, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if I need, I guess it is the decisiveness that I feel makes me an aggressive driver.
I'm not sure that would count to me as being an aggressive driver. Well, good for you for admitting it. Because I would rather have that than be on the road with clearly aggressive drivers who are like, no, I'm not an aggressive driver. This is normal. No, that's from speed to lane change to braking quickly to all of following closely. I'm more bothered by the look in my rearview mirror than I am at what's in front of me. And that's probably not a good factor to have when you're a driver. I'm always more worried about what's behind me. then because I can control what's in front of me. I can stop and avoid. And, that they talk about, people like young drivers would talk about, accident avoidance is the name of the game.
Yes.
Your job is to not get into one. Your job at the moment is not to figure out whose fault it would be if there was one. Your job is to avoid it at all costs for your safety. I'm not always sure when I look in the rearview mirror that I trust who's barreling down. Are you going to hit me? Are you going to be able to move out of lane in time?
But you're aware. I think that's it too. I'm aware of aggressive drivers because of that. Because when you look behind you and you see someone coming up on you, or you see them weaving in and out, or you see them braking hard behind you, in front of you, that's when it's like, okay. And then you become more of a defensive driver.
Yeah.
The aggression kind of eases a bit.
Yeah. Which is also a good thing, but that always concerns me. So, but more people think other people are aggressive. That's the way it is.
And that kind of ties into the next question. Who flips people off?
Yeah.
69% say they've been flipped off by someone else. Only 17% admit to doing it themselves, which I think is very low. I think more people have done it. They just don't want to admit it to.
I've never flipped, but I've been
never
flipped.
done it. I've wanted to.
Yeah, I got flipped off. I have, and I don't. And the thing is, I don't even know what I did wrong. I don't know what, having done what I just did, irritated you so much. Other than I was on the road when you didn't want anybody else to be on the road.
And maybe that's because. Maybe that's why I don't do it, is because I've had people do that to me too. And again, I'm left wondering, what did I do? And then I feel bad and I feel awful that, okay, somehow I've angered you by my driving. What was it that I did? And I end up feeling guilty. So I am hesitant to do that to someone else, even honking my horn. There have been times I've had my hand on it and I'm like, no, don't do it, even though they deserve it.
Not even a courtesy tap? Well,
no.
Like light screen.
I can't, because I don't want to make them feel bad.
Right. Okay.
Now, if they're being blatantly, again, aggressive or doing something that is not right or almost dangerous, then I will. But if I'm just stopped at a light and they're not moving, I'm not going to honk my horn at you.
You don't use it as a tool of frustration.
No. I use the interior of my car as that.
That's
more than
what
anything.
It is.
It's just kind of go off and
sound baffling.
Yeah, exactly. My kid. I do have to be careful though, because my kids have picked up on it.
Yeah.
Even when I try under my breath, I'm like, "Oh, you idiot!
Yeah.
What?" And then they're like, "What did he do, Mom? What did he do?" It's like, "Oh, nothing. Let's just continue on."
Yeah. The worst flip off I ever endured, I was on my bike as a teenager on my bike.
Oh, now see, that's not right.
Yeah. And so that sort of colored the way I thought about it when I became a driver. And the guy pulled down the passenger side window. I don't know what language he was speaking. And he, hands and everything, and got mad and then squealed off in his tires. And it was literally one of those things. I didn't go through a light. I didn't cut anybody off. I don't know what it's not like he was backing out of a driveway. I surprised him and he freaked out. I still don't know to this day what I did wrong to earn a dressing down by another driver who would stop.
That's intentional. That's someone who, that's early road rage right there.
We didn't know that. I mean, I'm 59. Yeah. That was 40 years ago.
Exactly.
That was like road rage in the 80s. So he would have to have stopped, leaned over, cranked down the window.
Not power windows. Like, it took effort.
Crank it back up.
Yeah.
Sort of like, the old phone when you'd have to actually hang up the phone when you were having a fight. Hang it up. But yeah, so be very careful. So flipping off the bird, I
think more people have done it than
leads to fights though. And
what they're saying.
I saw a road rage incident on Bell Boulevard last week. Oh,
really? Last week?
I did, where because it goes down to one lane just past the casino.
Yes.
The way it's made up if you're headed westbound. And a mini SUV pulled out, and when she pulled out, and I knew it was two young women because when it took place at the lights up at Walbridge Loyalist, there was a maroon pickup truck in front of them. So they started speeding up. Well, the guy, because I know it's a guy, because at the end of the story, he started speeding up not to let them in. Well, they're losing lane now. So I don't know what they hope to accomplish, because in 500 yards, the road ends, and we all seem to be moving at a pretty good speed. They cut out, got in front, and then I didn't think anything of it. Then we get up to the lights, and one of the young ladies in the passenger side pops up through the sunroof and starts screaming at the guy in the pickup truck. And she's got her her phone with her. So she's filming this.
She's filming it.
And he's flipping back and they're going back and forth. And then the truck turned right and took off. So I didn't know what it was, but I thought, no, this is just fodder for somebody's TikTok. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. But there was no reason for them to pull out and try and pass on the right when 500 yards later the road ends. There's just no way.
And
by the way, I turned left behind them and they sped up. Wahlberg's lawyers were at 60. They went about 90 and then slammed on the brakes at the red light. So I'm not terribly sure it was a pickup truck guy's fault.
Well, no. And I was going to say that brings up the part of this survey is the most irksome thing. Now, they have it listed as using your cell phone or texting.
Right.
You and I said this morning, blinking. Not putting your blinker on and not indicating what direction you're going. Another irksome thing is when you come to those passing lanes or when one lane comes to an end and you have to merge.
Right.
The way people behave when those lanes merge drives me it really does. Yeah. It drives me insane and it makes me angry just watching other people. I don't even have to be involved in it. But I sit there and I think, you idiots, what is the point? Because you either get someone, you like the situation you just described, neither one of them's giving an inch and really doesn't matter because, as you said, you're coming to lights in just a few meters. It's not that far. You're going to gain maybe 10 seconds, if that, by getting in front of the person.
A second.
So either you back off, let that person in, or you as the person whose lane's ending, just back off and slide in. Like you don't have to get in front of that car. Or when you're in the passing lanes and the lane's about to end, how people will drive like hell in the passing lane because they don't want to be behind anybody and then slow down and hold everybody up behind them. So they pass 3 or 4 cars and then slow down when the passing lane's over. Why? Pick a speed, stick to it. If you can't get in front of other vehicles, then guess what? You shouldn't be in front of them. Let them in front of you. Or if someone's trying to merge and you know their lane's going to end, then let them in.
Yeah.
Or as your lane's ending, slide in behind them. I just don't understand the mentality. Oh, we got to get in front. We got to be in front.
Particularly in town, like we're no more than a couple minutes from anywhere. Like,
exactly.
So
you're not going to gain
5 more seconds to let somebody in is not even a thought for me.
No. So cause an accident.
For some people, that's just a road rage incident waiting to happen, that somehow they're insulted that somebody wanted to move in front of them. Go ahead.
Is it worth it?
I don't care.
Never. It is never worth it to get that aggravated.
Yeah.
Or to cause an accident over a stupid lane merging.
Or to start yelling and filming it when you get up to the lights. But I watched it happen here in Belleville and I shook my head. Okay,
I remember.
There's something.
We were coming home from somewhere, myself and 2 coworkers, and she was driving. It was raining. It was on the 401 and she got cut off. Someone cut her off on the 401, making a lane change. It was raining hard. So I give this person the benefit of the doubt thinking, okay, maybe she just didn't see us. Maybe she didn't realize. It was a little irksome.
Right.
But this woman, it was like a light switch driving, the woman I was with. She had it was a stick shift. It was an automatic or standard.
Yep.
She shifted into gear, flew out in the other lane, raced up to meet this woman on the 401. Again, it's one of the few moments I was like, we're going to die. We are going to get into an accident because you have flipped out. She rolled down her window, pouring down rain, and started yelling at this other car.
At 120 kilometers an hour.
As we're driving down the 401. And I'm thinking, are you friggin' kidding me?
Yeah.
And I did. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm thinking hydroplaning. I'm thinking we're going to hit somebody else. You're going to cut somebody else off. It was horrible. People are crazy on the roads. And that was pre-pandemic. So can you imagine now?
Have we gotten worse? And they asked the question about men and women. Are men or women more aggressive? And it was really, I'm not sure the findings really showed it one way or the other. We had a text in where one guy who's a professional driver said that men are more aggressive. And I would agree with that. And maybe the flip side to it is that women are more aggressive than we give them credit for. We just assume because men are more aggressive that women aren't. I think there are probably more male aggressive drivers than aggressive female drivers, but some clearly are.
Yes, because I'm one of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can be.
Yeah.
I can be an aggressive driver when I need to. But as I said to you, and hearing your point there, Wayne can also be the more aggressive driver. for instance, when there's bad weather, he is the driver. I cannot, because he can do it, and he can do it in such a way that's safe. And so in my mind, in that instance, I would say he's the more aggressive driver, because again, he's more decisive. He's more confident behind the wheel. He can handle it. I am more aggressive in more urban settings, I would say, than he is, because again, it's the decisiveness, it's the aggression, but I would say in a good way.
Well, to me, it sounds like
traveling with the traffic.
It sounds like comfort. Like he's more comfortable. Like you're more comfortable having him drive. I don't consider that aggressive driving.
Okay.
He's more like, if it's snowing out, you'd rather have Wayne drive and he's comfortable driving.
Yeah.
So then everybody feels safe. Yeah.
But to me, that's aggressive driving, because he's driving through bad weather.
Okay. Well, I think we're talking about two different things.
Okay, maybe.
I think like people that you could die doing what you're
angry,
doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us fall into that category.
No, that's why I say I don't think you are. Based on what I think they're talking about. So when I hear 17% of people, no, I've seen more than 1 in 7 of you, but not in all cases. Not in all cases.
But you're right. It goes back to your very first point. Then what you
perceive
as aggression.
Yeah.
In general.
Right.
But you're right. Yeah, there is that extreme aggression. I'll say that is unsafe and can cause serious harm to yourself and other people.
And as a final point, may I make a final point?
Go for it.
That's very positive, I believe.
Okay.
Is that yesterday, for those of you listening to the radio station, I was not here. I had to take my wife into an appointment very early in the morning. So we were driving down Dundas at 6:45. That was me that honked and waved yesterday. 7:15 in the morning. I had no idea the amount of cars driving in Belleville, Ontario at 7:15 in the morning.
Really?
It looked like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, I wouldn't say here, but you're talking downtown.
Once you start getting around Dundas and Pinnacle and Front Street, and then
how busy
East Side, it is incredibly busy. I would like 9 o'clock, right? Like what? We can all get everywhere in 5 minutes. I figured rush hour's 8:45 around here. Nope.
It's 7:15?
7:15, and it is like nonstop traffic in this town. Like it was a great eye-opener yesterday that I wanted to share with you.
Now, did you find that you got your blood boiled a little bit being in that traffic?
Nope. No, I'm fine with it. Yeah, because again, in town driving, I have no trouble.
Not even Bell Boulevard?
Nope.
Bell Boulevard frustrates me sometimes.
You don't like to be in crowds?
I don't.
Yeah. Like, are you one of these people that don't like to miss a light?
No,
you ever heard about those people?
Yeah,
like,
we'll just run it.
You're 12th in line, and then the light comes green, but it's really busy on Bell Boulevard, so you don't get to make it through that light.
No.
Then it turns red again. Now you're 3rd in line, so you quote unquote missed a light.
Oh.
Some people freak at that.
That doesn't bother me. It's when people sit there and don't move when the light turns green.
There's that. There's that. Yeah. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for your reaction on that, and let's keep it safe out on the roads out there, okay? Coming up on the show tomorrow, Laura Hare is going to be on. She's one of the organizers for a special Bonspiel, a provincial championship that's going on at the Quinte Curling Club beginning tomorrow. It's beginning
tomorrow.
It does. So she's going to be on the show bright and early tomorrow morning. And I got to ask about the chickens, because she's with the Kiwanis Club, and I hope they're going to be
chicken dinners. Oh, I hope they're back.
I hope they're back. It's just part of the great bucket list on the Bay of Quinte is taking part in Chicken Day to raise money for a lot of great causes.
The way this city smells when that barbecue is on that day.
I love Bridge Street, right down by the fairgrounds when they get that going and the wind's blowing. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Laura Hare is going to be on the show tomorrow. Jimmy Hollywood, we've got a great high-low game for Galaxy of Games.
And Throwback. We'll unveil our Throwback tomorrow.
And that is so good, too. After much discussion, we've arrived at a great thing. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Wherever you get your favorite podcasts, like right here, Spotify, Amazon Music, and link to our social media sites. Join us tomorrow morning at 95.5 Hits FM. Have a great day and drive safe.